Well, it's 6 o'clock. Ready?
It is.
All right.
Do it.
Call the meeting to order. Any changes, additions, or removals to the agenda?
I don't have any.
Okay. Does anybody have any comments? Things they're happy about or unhappy about?
Jay, that's a loaded question.
Okay. All right, then our first job is to approve the minutes of September 8th, regular meeting. I'll make a motion to approve those.
I'll second that.
And is there any conversation? All in favor? Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Aye. All right. We have to sign this? I guess we do. The next job is to approve the minutes from the public hearing regarding Moneybrook. I'll make a motion to approve those meeting minutes.
I'll second
Is there any discussion? I think this has been submitted, right, Angela? Yep. All in favor?
it. Aye.
Okay. Our next order of business is to approve the select board minutes for the special meeting on Thursday, September 11th. And I'll make a motion to approve those meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Yeah.
And finally, our September 26th emergency meeting minutes. I'll make a motion to approve those.
Up there. I'll make it second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Our next order of business is the 2027 proposed budget, a little discussion around that. And Cherry has joined us this evening as well, if we have questions. And I believe this is the last year of our payment for the fire truck, is that right? Yeah,
This is the,
Yeah.
this fiscal year, not
27, 26 or 27?
26.
Okay, all right, so. And the highway portion of the budget hasn't been done yet, Rick, but I think Cherry would
Budget.
catch up with you and Larry about that.
Okay. That'd be great.
That was what we approved.
We can do that next week.
Yeah, there are. The auditors are costing a lot more. That is
Can I ask a
income,
question?
Yeah.
that's revenue there.
Sure.
That's income from short-term rental.
So, I think a couple of years ago,
All
when
the
it was
25.
discussed about the truck,
Mhm.
was there going to be like a general
Interest on investments.
equipment fund or something like 50 or something?
We did say we would make a, continue to contribute in some manner towards that. Yeah, and so that there would be money someday when the next truck is due, we don't have to,
And I think
raise
it was
it.
once the new truck was paid for, so it wasn't a double.
So it'd be the next budget cycle, yeah, agreed.
So that would be like a reserve?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, where are the reserve funds? Are they scattered throughout?
So
Are
those,
they in one spot here?
those, I don't believe are on the budget. That was a separate statement that Cherry sent us
Okay,
with reserve fund balances, but I could pull that up.
okay, no, you don't have to right now, but I'm just curious where it was.
And I believe once this grader arrives, that'll deplete like the highway reserve budget
Yeah,
pretty
yep.
deeply. But then we'll start all over again, saving money.
Yeah, we should be in good shape equipment-wise, I think, after that.
Don't wreck any trucks.
What are professional services again? Is that lawyer fees and such?
Probably.
Bill, yeah, that is,
Yes, that's our attorney fees.
Attorney fees?
Yeah.
Is there anything else fall in there?
No, just under attorneys.
Do you,
How's the rubbish for you? 1,500?
is there a copy of that I can have?
Here.
Where do we capture, just out of curiosity, the amount of money the town is paying for Bethany purchase taxes is going up? Shouldn't that be part of the budget?
well, no,
It's an individual payment
yeah.
by each property owner.
What's that total, do we know?
we do have that. I can't remember what it is, but we could come up with that.
Yeah, I'd like to see that number, because I'm sure it's
I
escalated.
think it's, spread across the entire grand list.
Yes, but there's a total.
Yes.
What they're being forgiven or
Yeah.
paid by everybody else. Because I'm sure it's astronomically higher than what Brendan put in that meeting a year ago, because he said, what, 90,000? And I know it's gone.
Well, taxes have gone up, right?
Yes, so he kind of conveniently did not inform everybody of that. I just want to see that.
What is rubbish?
There's two different line items, if I recall, in the budget. One is the town's obligation to pay for trash, right?
Right.
And then rubbish is what the town creates, like the dumpster out back or
Okay,
Yeah.
that's, gotcha.
garbage.
Okay.
And good question. So when the store, they pick up the recycling. They say 2 tips are paid by the town?
They are.
Wow, I didn't do that. Okay. And that's in that budget line item? Okay.
Yeah. And that is negotiated through the district, and Art Limes is our representative to the district. And basically, the district says, we're gonna need to charge this much money per ton to be solvent.
Okay.
That's
Okay, well, curious.
I thought we could save some money by throwing our trash in your dumpster, Rick.
I'm fine, as long as you tell me so I can charge you $10. It's a good deal.
Joe used to do that when we came up, for weekends.
And under zoning and planning commission, has that changed somehow?
So,
Item 70,
I used to work in the town.
1/7/25/70,
Yeah.
so 1/7/25.
70, yeah.
70.
Why is there a charge for zoning and planning?
That's the budget for,
The vast majority of our money goes to.
They don't have a number.
fixing roads.
Oh, yeah. That's the biggest department.
3/4
Sure
of
it
the
is.
budget.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if they know. Yeah, I can answer it that way. So what
Okay.
happened at that one, because it was put under general expenses, but that expenditure is a salary for the person that works for the planning and zoning office. So I transferred it to the town officers so that
There needs to be a budget for paying for the town
There
plan.
is.
Where's
There is,
that?
it should be under town officers, so it would be 1/7/10/10/19
Okay, hold on.
and 20.
10.
I just changed it from general expenses to town officers. Because I feel like it should be under town officers since it's a salary, it's not under
But
general.
there is a separate expense to Two Rivers.
We're gonna talk
There
about.
is also two
For-
numbers.
I know, but for the town plan,
Okay, is that the 1,000?
approximately, if we get the grant,
I can
yeah.
add that on the
Yeah,
planning and zoning.
it's an expense for planning and zoning
Okay,
and not a salary.
okay.
Jerry, under the bridges, what happened to what happened to bridge reserve?
So that was one of the questions that I had with Larry.
Okay,
Because he was saying about every year that we transfer money, whatever that's not used on bridge reserve.
right,
Like on the bridge expense, we transfer it.
yes.
Yeah.
But I don't see any
I
pattern
didn't know
that
it
it was
last
ever
year.
transferred every year.
Well, maybe it's a brand new thing.
Okay.
Maybe it hasn't been, maybe there is no history of doing that. I think it's something we initiated.
Look at what we pay for in.
Bridges, bridge reserve.
Bridge reserve.
Sorry.
Yeah, we started saving money for that.
I thought we did.
Yeah,
Windsor
right?
County.
And
Yeah, but I don't,
And
I don't know
that's a
when did you
16A.
start that, because I don't see any
Woodstock
history
Ambulance
that it was a
25.
bridge
Oh,
reserve. But that's why I'm kinda like,
That's a research project.
yeah, that would be,
Takes care of it.
yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we set up a reserve
Right.
and we said the money we don't
Much
use,
cheaper.
Correct.
it's allocated
Transfer.
over into that reserve fund instead of going back to the general.
No.
Yeah, we just talked about that like a couple weeks ago, and I told him that I would check with you guys during the
Okay, well, my
discussion.
recollection is that
We passed a minute last year.
Yeah, I'm sure we did.
Okay,
It's
I'll
in-
try
it's
to
in a
find
meeting
that
somewhere.
minutes. Okay, so that was just approved recently last
I
year?
think so. We can
Okay.
find the minute easy
Yeah,
enough.
I bet it's about a year or so. Yeah,
A year, okay,
I mean, it wasn't 5 years ago, it was
Got it.
a lot more recent than that,
Yeah.
like a year ago.
a year ago, okay.
So anyway,
What is?
You'll get on it, I'm sure you'll get
Yeah, I have the number. I
Okay.
have the number that needs to be transferred. I just wanted to make sure because I don't see a history that it was
all right,
there was
now
a
I'm
transfer.
glad you're checking, that's good.
So, one thing we do not have
Cherry,
yet is a statement of position, which tells us
17257414, what is
whether we
that?
had a net surplus or negative
That's an
last year in operating
That's
revenue.
Ryan.
And that, of course,
Oh,
affects our balance sheet and what is in the general fund.
So
How do we get there?
he's not
Sherry said she's gonna get that with
a salary for
Cynthia
assessor.
from Nimmer.
That'd be great to see.
That's it.
I'm sorry, I missed the whole conversation. I'm sorry.
We're just talking about the statement of position.
Oh, okay.
And the audit is next month,
No.
This month,
This
the
month,
end of the
okay.
month,
There we go.
28th and 29th
and they start it.
would be our audit
Why?
dates.
Ask them.
Late.
Anything about you?
Question?
On the municipal building section, the maintenance
$18,000.
line item.
I'm sorry, can we just have one conversation? I'm sorry, just to
Okay.
pick up everything that Dan said, and people can hear too. Sorry.
Yep.
This
We're testing it.
Maintenance, 172062.
I'm sorry, Keith, what was that number?
One, in the maintenance, municipal buildings heading, and then it's line item, maintenance, 17-20-62, about 3/4 of the way down.
Yep.
Is that stuff like the generator and all that kind of stuff, does that fall into that line item? Or is it like out of the unexpected maintenance?
So,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead.
So those are like if something breaks, then we have to call like the sewer company or like the rugs that we pay every month. And then all like the fire safety inspection annual that we do. Are you questioning about like the expense or the budget?
I'm just looking at it, and it seems like we we under budget and we blow way out, 100% past it every year.
Yeah, there were a few like huge like septic issues that we have for the expenses, so it's kind of over. And then I created another line item. I don't think. Yeah, it's not reflecting here, but the expenses we bought like fridge for the fire department and like utensils and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I put it on, it went to under maintenance, but I created a separate, which is not showing here, but that's the total amount basically.
So it might be worth looking at that line item because things like repairs, larger repairs would come out of the building reserve. We could set a dollar amount for that. And for example, also like a refrigerator, you could expense it depending on the price. That's a good question. But it also could come out of like the office equipment reserve. So they're just different ways of getting to the same thing. Probably it's hard to be clear about each individual fund because people interpret them differently a little bit.
Yeah.
Refrigerators, we depreciate that over time, right? On the taxes,
Refrigerator?
they should be able to.
They don't last 10
Well, how much
years.
was the new
A
refrigerator?
couple of months.
It was like 1,500.
No.
Yeah, which value?
You have a question, Elaine?
What is item number 17257414? 1725
1725.
7414.
So that's our assessor. So that's Ryan's company. We pay him $1,500 every month.
Is he under the salary part of the,
No, so it's
He's
like
not.
an invoice. He sends us an invoice.
okay, so he's not necessarily an employee then?
No, we pay for the employee is Deb Pelkey, which is the assistant assessor.
Okay, gotcha, okay.
What was that line item again?
725 7414.
But there's also a line item for assessor.
Under,
Employees?
Good question.
Yep.
Where do you see that other one for assessor? There's one for assessor.
under town offices?
So we have a person that does administrative work in that office. They're not a full assessor yet, but they could be at some point. So how you're thinking about it is maybe the name of the position. Sometimes the name isn't perfectly lined up with what's actually being
Okay.
done. Does that sound right?
Yeah,
Is that
you're right.
that one?
And I can change it to, I can change it to assistant assessor.
Okay.
I can't find it now. Well, it would be the staff. The office.
Yeah. And the distinguishing feature is an employee versus a contract. So you see the employee
Yep.
under office, the contract, and the expense.
Okay. With regards to the
There it is.
reappraisal, that's another company completely, right?
It's the same company. Interestingly, it's Northeast Municipal Consultants.
Okay.
Their contract doesn't go into effect until, I just sent you all the contract, by the way, the print's too small, I'll have to look at it. Anyway, that money, when it's expended, will come out of the appraisal reserve.
Yeah.
So it's not a direct expense to the town.
So it's not on the budget then, right?
Correct. It's sitting in a reserve fund.
Okay.
So we don't have to budget a lot extra money for that. It's sitting there.
Who's that lady up
Okay. Good job.
I learned from you, Elaine.
Were you hoping to take some action on this tonight, Jim?
I think initial impressions,
Okay.
great. I think we will probably start populating it in a little bit more detail, get the highway numbers in there. I think it'll really help us when we get that statement of position to see where we ended.
I'd like to see that. That'd be interesting.
And then I think when we do that, we'll have total expenditures, proposed expenditures, and then we'll be able to figure out what the tax bill looks like for 2027.
Okay.
And it never changes radically.
No, it hasn't.
Just goes up.
Slowly. Went down last year on the Plymouth side.
Technically, it should go down after we do that.
We're not, there's no drastic change, it hasn't been in any particular year, it's pretty steady state.
Yeah.
I mean, our municipal,
Yeah, we collected 1.592 million in taxes last year, and the year before was 1.632. I mean, I think there's also a narrative that goes along with this, like COVID. We had I think a lot more activity happening, right? People are moving the area, there's a lot
Yeah.
of building and zoning stuff happening. A lot more activity in the lister's office. Those have settled down a little bit. And of course, the flood of 2023, we're still, jury's still wrapping that up. But there's a lot less activity there, so maybe.
Made it through a summer with no more floods.
We got a fully
Knock on wood.
fully renovated building, a new fire truck, and a great drum, so I don't know, it should be kind of quiet unless something comes up.
Yeah.
knock on something.
Plastic doesn't work, it's gotta be wood.
Chair, I think your arm on my chair.
Any more on the budget? Move on to, I believe this brings us to Brian at Two Rivers. To talk about the grant for, I'm not gonna say planning and zoning, the town plan.
Yeah, it's for the town plan. Thanks all for inviting me onto the agenda. I'm sorry, my voice is a little strained. I have an illness right now. So the Planning Commission would like to pursue a municipal planning grant from Vermont's Agency of Commerce and Community Development to help bring us on as a consultant to assist them with the update of the town plan. The town plan is expiring in about 2 years. So this is a good time to get started on the town plan update because that could take the full 2 years. Just here to talk to the select board and hear feedback about an application for that, as well as asking a couple of specific questions about it, both to the total dollar amount for the grant request and the 10% local match requirement. And then there's also forms that have to be signed. So if we can have those signed tonight, that would be great, if the select board is okay with going forward with the application.
So how much is the grant worth?
I did the budget last week for it. It ended up being just under $15,000 with the 10% match. That's a $1,500 local match.
Do we know how much it's gonna cost for the scope of the work yet?
The work was scoped as us doing the work, so our low rates will come into it.
That's what the budget's for.
So we don't have to budget for $1,500
Yep.
If we get the grant,
if we get the grant.
yeah. How many towns are applying for a grant? How many towns are renewing their town plan? You know?
It depends. Town plans are up for renewal every 8 years. Most towns in Vermont have a town plan, but most town plans won't get an MPG to fund that. It's only if you do special additional work on your municipal or on your town plan to make it address the sort of state planning priorities. So I focused a lot of the application on energy and housing. If you're just updating the town plan, just kind of swapping in new data from old data, you won't get an MPG for that. Mm-hmm. So I did have to write the application with that intention. But it's a statewide grant, so towns do apply, they tend to give out, between the RPC regions, they tend to give out a handful to each town, or a handful to the towns within an RPC's region. So it's possible that, Plymouth, I think with the application we're putting together, I think it's a good chance Plymouth will win will win an award. But you are competing with every other town that's applying in the state. So there's no guarantee that the award will be won.
So Brian, it's my understanding that there's only so much money available for the grants throughout the state. So it's a situation where the early bird gets the worm.
Not necessarily.
They won't be awarded until the end of the deadline, which is November 3rd. But it's based on the strength of the application. Some towns put together applications that, look really cool on paper, but if it's not a thing that the state wants to fund, then they won't fund it. Some do it for things like capital budgets or housing studies. So those are potential uses of an MPG as well. It just depends on what gets applied for.
So I think one thing I've noticed over the years, and I've been on the planning commission for a while, but you can correct me if I'm wrong, but our town doesn't change a whole lot, right? And we don't have a lot of land that's developable for public housing. There's not a lot of great sites for renewable energy. It kind of, in a lot of ways, it is what it is. And I think what I usually think of this as is being compliant with whatever has come through the legislature. That is my view.
Yeah, there's things that'll have to happen just because there's been legislative changes from the last 6 years. So like housing targets, you'll have to have housing targets that were created using a housing study that the state paid for. So that's a requirement under statute to have that in your town plan going forward. So things like that will have to be done.
What is, right now, I can't recall, what is our housing, what are you proposing the housing target's gonna be? Do we know?
I don't know what Plymouth's are specifically. It's depending on like developable land and how much land is constrained by other things.
But that's the problem with Plymouth. There is no developable land. That's the big issue. So how are we gonna hit a housing target when we know we can't build? First of all, we gotta get a developer to come in and do it. There's no businesses around here. The tax rate's way too high because Plymouth's known as a gold town. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Clarify, that's school tax.
That state tax, yes, not municipal tax.
We don't have to make sure the buildings happen. We just have to plan for it.
You just have to be compliant with the
Just be compliant.
legislature.
And that's why we redid the districts to allow for the possibility. Probability might be very low, but possibility is there. And that's what we're doing.
I'm just curious because in reality.
Someone already spoke to us about the regional plan changes, and they gave us a number that we needed to strive for in the housing. That's in the minutes for that meeting. Who was that? I can't remember.
Was it Kyle Katz or Kyle Hansen?
Kyle Katz, yes, he spoke to us
Yeah.
and gave us that information, but that was on the regional plan development and the percentage for our town.
Yeah, they had set aside a few areas, remember the map that had color coded
Yep.
around the town center here and then down by.
Tyson.
By Tyson, yeah. So we've
That's
got
where-
that in the minutes, what the goal is for.
Yep. So our town plan would have to,
We don't have to comply with it, but we could try.
we would have to
Well,
We have to
it
plan.
has to be
plan.
included in the town plan.
Right.
Plan.
There's no penalty if the town doesn't achieve those
Our
goals.
plan
Right,
here.
right.
Aspirational.
Aspirational, good, there you go, that's the word,
So-
aspirational.
Who's the decision maker on these grants? Is it like a committee up in Montpelier?
I don't know, it's decided by ACCD, I don't know who actually makes that decision. ACCD is a Vermont state agency that does
But that
community
means,
development work.
that means there's representatives that are on that committee. Probably not, I don't think senators, man.
Let's hope they're not from Agency of Transportation after the hard time they gave them.
I don't actually know who stuff who decides on grants.
Well, the only reason I bring this up is
We
because
usually
the
get it
political
anyway.
slant.
I mean, I've always gotten it before,
Yeah.
so why wouldn't we get it this time?
Curious, just because when I built the store, I applied for some tax, what do they call it, tax credits?
Thanks.
And the application, they told me, was really strong, but when it came down to it, the tax credits were awarded to some pet projects of people who sat and made the decision, which to me is corruption, and I made a squawk about it. But is this gonna go down the same road where you have these people who have pet projects and they want one town to get it instead of another?
Probably.
That's what worries me most.
Negative Nelly's here.
No, just reality. It's,
Come on.
No, I just don't think there's a whole lot of financial gain to be made by these things.
No, and there wasn't for the tax credits
Loss,
either.
yeah,
It's
not a
just,
big cost to it.
if we're gonna put the work into this, which I'm fine
It's
to
a whole
do,
lot of work for nothing,
but who's gonna make the decisions whether it gets approved?
because it's never gonna happen.
That's where I'm going with this.
We have
So
no
we
control
go
over
through the
that.
motions
We
to
just have
justify
control.
it.
That's why I want to know who's gonna
Brian,
start.
you mentioned needing letters of recommendation.
If you don't
Yeah.
annotate it, then you're not eligible.
It would help the application to have some letters of support from local organizations. I know there is a conservation and energy commission.
It's a
Really got staff to theirs.
Jay,
Yeah,
Is from the school board, is that possible?
School board, what school board?
Is there a school board?
well, this,
There's a union school board that we're a member of.
He's one
He's
of us.
got to
He's one of us, though, isn't he?
well, anyhow, I'm thinking we should make a motion
eat.
to
He is
try to
Two Rivers.
acquire this grant and, pay the match.
Whatever the hell their name is.
$1,500.
$1,500, that saves a lot of volunteer time.
We contract with him.
Brian, you mentioned conservation.
Okay.
We need
Well, yeah.
recommendation
He
letters.
stands
This is something
between
that's
us and
different from the last time we did town
Yeah.
plan.
Okay.
And for that, he gets
And
paid.
would Nineveh Foundation
Just like,
as a conservation, or Department of Wilderness Conservation
If that's sufficient,
be appropriate?
that's a good question for Brian.
Yeah, potentially if they
good
do,
question.
or sponsor work in Plymouth, conservation work, yeah. Any like local nonprofits that do things would be something you could reach out to.
Black River Action Team,
What about the Okemo Valley Chamber of Commerce? Would they be helpful?
I'm sure.
Yeah, I thought there wasn't a chamber of commerce.
Okemo Valley, it's,
Okay.
yeah, I'm a member of it, they do a lot of good
Does that
work.
include Plymouth?
Yes, because I'm a member for the store. They're based out of London.
I'll make a motion, we accept move forward with the application for the grant.
All second. Keith, you good?
Yeah.
Okay. We're good.
And Jay, I did send you 2 forms that need to be signed by the select board.
Okay,
One has to also be signed by the chair of the planning commission.
okay.
But the other one is just a good standing form with Vermont A&R, another agency.
Okay.
Those that would be filled out too with the application.
All right, we'll get those signed. Thank you, Brian.
Yep, thank you guys.
That brings us to a building renovation update.
I am ready to declare our building renovation finished.
Oh,
Done. There are a couple of minor things that have to be tweaked, but we're done, okay? After pushing 3 years, when you talk about the original planning process and the design and permit process, losing contractors in the middle of the project, contractors going out of business, having the GC phase 2 ourselves, we're done. I'm really happy with the quality of the work, but I'm even more happy with the financial state of the project, and we are under budget.
Good.
whoa.
To the tune of $91,711.98. This is according to the report we just got from
We
Charity.
need to have a party.
$91,000 under budget.
Thank you, Rick.
Good job.
That's
Rick.
amazing.
Everybody, it is a team effort.
Good
A lot of
job.
people-
Yes.
A lot of people contributed to this. I will say, in fairness, 62,000 of that 91 was a grant that we didn't anticipate when we started phase 2, and Jay chased it down and got it, so it added to the project. So without that, we were 29,000 under budget, but we're still under
That's
budget.
still under
For a
budget.
$2.3 million project, and the state of the construction industry nowadays, I'm pretty pleased with that.
You
Well, I
should
think
be.
it's probably more due to the fact that Rick's managing the project every day. In phase 2, Rick's out there pouring concrete himself, not,
You do what you gotta do.
Give that man a raise.
I know, right? Bonus.
Couldn't afford you.
Now, the question did come up, a suggestion, I should say, came up that, why don't we use that surplus and put it in the building reserve fund? And I like that idea for 2 reasons. One, if we do that, we'll have close to $100,000 in the building reserve fund, and we don't have to, we can take it out of our line item in our budget. We don't have to contribute it every year. We started out contributing $25,000 a year. As a new building came on board, realizing that we have less maintenance, we lowered that to $10,000 a year. But if we add this fund to the building reserve, we won't have to fund that anymore. So in fact, it'll save taxpayers money,
Right,
okay?
yeah.
Some would question, do we really need $100,000? We're going to cap it at that and leave it at that, but keep in mind, the building footprint is in top-notch shape. Good mechanical systems, heat pumps, renovations, super insulated, low maintenance costs, I agree. But there's things outside of this building that people forget about. Like we've got a 40-year-old septic system going out of the highway garage with a septic pump that has never been serviced or repaired or replaced. You know, that's coming up. I don't know how the fields are coming up. There's another septic system going out this way for this part of the building. So there's things like that, you know, that may come up that we'll have funds for to deal with if we need to put in a new field or something substantial. So that makes a lot of sense to me, to put it in a building reserve fund and stop funding that reserve, which saves taxpayers money.
Well,
That
you
was a
say
suggestion
stop
that was made.
funding it, but if it's at 100,000 and you have to tap into it for a new septic system, do we then bring it back up to the 100?
We can have that discussion, and it probably makes sense. I don't know.
Or if we just put it in there but keep funding it anyway, and just build it even bigger.
Well, you could fund it capped at the 100,000. So if one year it's sitting at 100,000, you say, all right, we don't put any more in this year. Next year you might half it.
So the question comes up with across, right, all our reserve funds is like, how much money do we hold, right? What's appropriate,
Right.
right? And it's good to have money in those reserve funds, as we found out in '23, when we need to borrow from ourselves, to actually do
Yeah.
projects. But at the same time, I think it's like, we don't want to overdo it either. Like, it would be inappropriate for us to be sitting on $5 million. So it's,
Well, we know the building's a big deal, you know, it was a big expense. And to maintain everything in top-notch order, unlike the way it used to be done, makes a lot of sense. And to have the money available to do that just streamlines the whole thing.
Does the state set a limit of how much fund, how many dollars in funds you can have in a town?
nope, I think it's
But the
all.
voters would probably have a say in it.
Yeah, I think people can see, you know, it's in our audit, right, what we have.
Yeah.
You know, and that we go through the audit. Cherry can tell you just anyway, but she knows, like you knew when you were treasurer.
Yeah.
But
It's nice to have a cushion, always.
it is, and our general fund has had
Yeah.
a cushion in it as well. And typically we've under budgeted revenue and over budgeted expenses, and so we keep an eye on that.
So there you have it. That's the update on the building renovation.
That's a good update.
You don't have to talk about it anymore on the agenda.
Right.
Cross it right off.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Rick. You made a nice place here. You really did.
Thank you.
What's next? What are you gonna do now?
Oh,
Glad you asked, Keith.
I don't know, I need a break.
That brings us to the annex.
Oh, yeah. That's what's next. We kicked a lot of ideas around at the annex over the years. You know, should we put in some heat pumps so we don't have to deal with it? But the building's not used very much. And I'm kind of not in favor of putting a lot of money into it. But we do need to winterize it. We did that last year. We had the system drained and antifreeze and all of that. But I believe we kept a hydro furnace going at a low temp. And we probably should do that because don't forget, we have records, building records in there. We have a vault in there.
Right.
You know, we need to keep the humidity right, and dry heat in the winter. And even if we keep it at 50 degrees, it'll avoid that frost
Reckon the foundation, would it be?
freeze-thaw cycle, and we might get condensation, then you get
Can't
mold.
do that to a building.
You know. So, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Unless somebody wants to think we should put some money in it and do some upgrades, but
I mean, if we're gonna use it someday, like, we don't have to do it now. That building just stinks like mold, I don't know.
yeah,
To me.
you're right, we don't have to do it now, and we got this reserve fund. If something comes up or we have a need for it and we want to clean the building up a little bit, we can do that with that reserve too. It's not just for this building, you know, it could be used for that.
There's a Starbucks over there.
That's my recommendation, that we just keep the heat on and keep it low. But still keep the system drained in case power goes out or, no, that's just our generator. Whatever, we should just,
Is there an alarm that lets you know if the heat fails?
you know, I think there is, Elaine, you're right,
There is.
there is. There is an
Yeah, I
alarm,
remember
a
that now, yeah.
low temp alarm.
Okay.
I think that's why we kept the telephone number over there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It
Does
was.
that ring on your phone?
No, the alarm company.
Alarm company, yeah, and then they got to call
Calls us.
somebody.
So their propane, hot water system?
No, it's hot air, the heating is hot air, but we drain, you know, it's bathroom, it's got a hot water heater. We drain all that stuff, just in case the power goes out, it's winter. If somebody doesn't think it's necessary, that's fine. Something we've always done. Make sure we don't have a freeze up,
So that'd be a real mess.
that'd be a real mess.
And I've looked at that old trailer furnace or whatever's in there. I mean, I wouldn't want to bet my life on it.
Yeah. So that's the annex discussion.
That seems like a good idea. You?
To winterize
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I mean, we do it all the time, don't we?
Yeah, we do it. We have, I think, I'm sure it's exactly what we done last year.
Update on FEMA road repairs.
I can do that one too. We had 11 projects. We have 4 left to do. 2 of them were held up because of an archaeological dig by Historical Preservation, which hasn't happened yet, but we got told to stop. And that would be both of them on Scout Camp Road. One of them is Daniels, which is work out by the Day Beach. That bridge over there needed some armoring. And one was Waters Construction, which was going to do the bridge by Scout Camp and Billings Road intersection. So those projects are on hold. Hopefully we can get them freed up by spring and get back at it. There are other 2 projects that are done or ready to do that were supposed to be done by now are the Paley Bridge and Apple Hill. And both of those are Waters Construction, and we've had difficulty communicating with them.
Yes.
And responsive to our emails, and I know Cherry's tried real hard to communicate, but she gets bits and pieces of communication. I probably started chasing them down in the last week or so. I called, left messages 3 times to the general manager and the owner. I finally got a call back today from the general manager. And he told me they're ready to start next week. And I said, wow. He's going to call me tomorrow with an exact date, but he wanted to start in the Paley Bridge. And I asked him about extensions from Scott Jensen, who's a water resource engineer who gives permits where it's not supposed to be in the rivers by after October 1. They felt really confident they can get an extension for that and the Apple Hill Bridge and get them done by November.
Good.
And I think they're probably right, because according to them, Scott Jensen's giving time extensions out all over the place. And I think the reason is there's no water. There's no water in the brooks. There just trickles here and there where we're working. So that makes it a lot easier. And this rain we're going to get, I don't think it's going to amount to anything.
No.
The ground's so dry, it's going to be absorbed. It's not even going to get runoff. You watch, the brooks won't even come up at all. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. So they're confident they're going to get their extensions to start next week. Let's hope that happens, because they haven't been very responsive up to date all summer long. And you hear the user excuses, and they're legitimate excuses. The construction industry is so difficult right now. They can't get deliveries. They're telling me the precast was late on the last job. They got on one project and the owner expanded the scope, so they had to stay there an extra month to finish it. It's just the construction industry is what it is. So you try and be patient and work with them as best we can, because if we can't, there's probably financial issues that will have to be addressed. But if we can get them on board and let them do the work that they bid, that would be the best outcome, in my opinion. So we'll see if we can get those two done. Yeah.
That brings us to grants and aid for 25. Do you know about that one?
Oh, yeah, that's the work that we did at Hale Hollow. My clients did that. We changed up culvert that needs to be changed and did the ditching.
Yep. And you did a great job.
He spent over a week down there and put in a couple culverts and ditched all the way from
Yeah.
most of the travel
Road,
lane.
yeah.
Did a good job. He was there a while.
Mm-hmm.
He closed the road
Yep.
That's right.
and put the sign 100 yards from where he was.
I know, I
working.
spoke to them about that. And they're trying to up their game on signage. I told them just go out and buy some good signs and put them where they need to be so people can tell before they go 3 miles down the road and say, oh boy, the road's closed. We had that conversation. I know. And they get it. They get it. I see they put the stone in the
I
ditch.
did, yes, thank you.
By the hill.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm an outsider. I was just down Hale Hollow Road,
Huh.
going to see the guy that does the asbestos inspections,
Todd
Mr.
Maurice?
Harper?
Mr. Harper.
Yes.
Yeah. But you call that a road?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a remote road.
It's a town road.
Class 4, but it,
I mean, it was nice. It was smooth. It wasn't full of potholes.
Yeah, it's just been graded last week.
But there's no guardrail that prevents you from going down that.
well, be careful.
Several hundred feet. It's a nice look.
But Route 100 used to be that way when I was a kid. That's how we knew we were
Come on
at
up
our
Lions
house.
Hill Road.
Yeah, we've been ditching and grading and cutting brush and roadsides, and the grading is challenging right now because it's so dry. It's like pushing sand. It doesn't compact, it has no moisture in it. It's just makes a mess, but we've tried some different things, and we actually bought a water tank. We're trying to use some water when we grade so we can get some compaction out of it, grade it right. And that helped a lot. So we'll continue to do that as the fall goes on. Yeah. We should share a grader sooner than later. I know it's in the state and it's being shipped from somewhere, but it's getting close.
They haven't
It's in the
given you a
country.
date on when you can expect it though, huh?
No, I do not. But I'm anxious to see that.
Where's it coming from?
I forget if it was either Japan or China. It was it might have been Japan or someplace like that.
It's a cat, I don't know where
Really
cat's
surprised me.
manufactured.
Illinois.
Maybe part of it did, and then it's
Yeah,
being
it's up
assembled in Illinois or something like that.
What's the brand name?
Huh?
It's Caterpillar.
Caterpillar.
Cat.
Cat.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll get it. It'll be here in a couple of weeks. Month or two, maybe, I don't know. I know it'll be here this fall. That's what they promised, so.
Keith, are you familiar with what Beth has going on in terms of taxes?
Only what, same thing that you've read.
Okay.
No
How
special
many do we
insight.
have up for sale right now?
And she is on Zoom if you have questions too.
Oh. Are you there, Beth?
Beth, did you want to share it all with us?
You're on mute if you're there.
Cocktail hour.
Do you know?
That's
We have two.
We have two.
We have two.
Well, I'll read Beth's letter, how about that?
Okay.
All right. October 6, 2025, just a quick update on the delinquent taxes. We have 2 parcels that are still delinquent for 23 and 24 and have not responded to our attempts in reaching out to them. The total tax due for both properties is $3,470.43. Cherry has found a new attorney that will be discussing a tax sale with, and the procedures we are to follow. I continue to reach out, receive partial payments on a few that are delinquent. The 2 payment plans have been paid in a timely manner, with one paying it off completely and is now current. Thank you, Beth, our treasurer.
All right.
Anything you want to add, Cherry?
No, I think. Yeah, did she attach like the 2 parcels
Yes.
in there?
What are the addresses? Can you tell us?
Yeah, this is all public information.
It's hawk lots, ain't they? More hawk.
Are they?
Yeah.
Snowy Alley Lane.
Not on here, really.
No, it's the.
Here, the top part.
That can't be, because that doesn't look like.
Yeah. What were the address? You see them?
Snowy Owl Lane.
Hello.
Oh, I see it now.
Hey,
Hey, Beth.
sorry.
Hey, I figured kind of unsealed it.
I was gonna say, I know you're there. What are the addresses of those 2 tax lots sale?
Yeah, one is at Talk and the other is, I think it's like at a camp. It's way in the middle of nowhere.
So it's not accessible?
Are they vacant lots?
I haven't driven by it,
Are
but I
they,
can and let you know.
It's Route 100.
it's like,
It's not a number, but it's Route 100.
are they buildable lots?
I don't know, submit a permit. I don't know.
Okay.
Route 100, north of the town or south of the town?
I don't know.
That.
Just
Or south of the town,
Route
it's one or
100.
the other.
I don't know.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, if you come into the store tomorrow, Beth, you can talk.
Okay? It'll be a date.
They're not for sale as of yet. We don't have it. We're not working with Ancuda anymore? Is that correct?
It's not been very nice.
No, good decision. Not a good attorney. I'll say that for me.
Oh, that brings.
Everything looked down there.
We worked with, we closed on a deal a couple months ago and we haven't received what we need. It's been,
There's no more conversation around that, then that brings us to upcoming town events. Angela, did you want to speak to that?
When would a tax sale be, if we do have it?
No, there's a certain protocol to follow, and it'd be
We'd
like
have
30
to-
days or
Yeah, we'd
something.
have to work with the new
Yeah.
attorney to see what works for them.
I just wanna go see them to see if they're buildable.
You can add to the housing? Yeah.
That's the plan.
Angela, you want to tell us about the upcoming town events?
yeah,
Why not?
I just,
Housing for my employees.
the fire department had an open house scheduled for this Saturday. but we postponed it until next Saturday, the 18th.
Hey, would you guys hold up for a sec here or make an announcement? Thank you.
Sorry.
The second annual trunk or treat is on Saturday, October 25th, so hoping people will open up their trunks again this year. Turkey dinner is the first time we're gonna do this, which is Saturday, November 22nd. It's a free turkey dinner here at the town office from 5 to 7. And then the third annual kids holiday party. We haven't chosen the date yet, but that'll be in December, so.
You're gonna do, we did that last year, right, the kids' holiday thing?
Yeah, we've done it 2 years.
We all
2 or 3 years.
donated toys for it, right? Is that what we typically do? I can't
If you'd
remember.
like to, we'll take it.
Well, yeah,
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
leave
you're-
I
then.
thought we did last year.
You volunteered.
Strike that from the record.
What was that blank check?
But we'll always take
Good.
donations. We try to do gift cards for the older kids
Yeah.
if they come in.
Is anything done for Veterans Day here in Plymouth?
We have, no,
No.
We could get together and have some whiskey.
we had talked about, the veterans credit. We have brought on board, we have a couple residents who are now getting a veterans credit as of this year. $10,000 off of $10,000 value off their assessed value. And it was discussed at a meeting that, but there's criteria, have to be certain percentage disabled. So I
Okay.
know we had talked about it, possibly doing something at town meeting to raise that amount. And that was just a brief conversation, so something may be forthcoming with that, but.
Is there something written already that says what the criteria is that I could look at it?
Yeah, it's online too.
It is?
Yep,
Okay.
it's not a lot.
Okay.
He said it's not a lot, but you should be able to find it, yeah.
Okay. I'm old.
What else? Anything else around that?
And I put
Thanks, Angela.
It's a lot of 50 years.
A lot of work.
So, something
Other business?
way a little bit.
No, sir.
All right. Next select board meeting date. Today's do we have anything pressing for the second one this month?
No. I don't know if anything, I will say I'm not available for the 2 meetings in November.
Okay. I wonder if we should have one mid-October and cancel at least the first one in November, not the second one. We could also, I don't know. I guess it really depends on what needs doing.
Yeah.
Want to play it by ear?
Yeah, let's do that then. Keith, what's your vacation schedule like? Okay. That brings us to mail. And we have an executive session.